Hello everyone, this is Dr. Manish Patel and you are watching my channel Let's Dissect Anatomy. First of all, very sorry for the big gap between the videos. The reason behind that, I have underwent the spinal surgery. Right now I am in the recovery phase. Actually, till today I only can able to sit for 5 to 7 minutes. So I have recorded this video in 4 to 5 parts and then combined it to send you. So without any delay, let's start today's topic, back of the neck. First of all, introduction. The back of the neck, it is bounded above by the external occipital protuberance and superior knuckle line. External occipital protuberance and superior knuckle line, below by the spine of C7. In the midline of the back of the neck or the lower part, you can feel the projection of the spine of C7, from where the line running horizontally to extends up to the acromion process of the scapula. So this is the lower boundary and this is the upper boundary of the back of the neck. The first important structure in this region is trapezius muscle. Two important topics are there in this chapter. One is trapezius muscle and another is suboccipital triangle. Both are important for the theory but more important for the practical viva and also for the one-liners. Okay, so first of all, trapezius muscle, it's a large flat triangular muscle which is placed superficially on the back of the neck and thorax. It forms the sloping ridge of the neck. जो दोनों तरफ ये जो sloping edge बन रही है neck की on both the side, this is because of the trapezius muscle. It is trapezius muscles of the two sides together forms the trapezion. It's a Greek word and meaning of which is irregular four-sided figure. Here you can see from the picture, this is the trapezius muscle of the left side. Same way, trapezius muscle of the right side forms the four-sided figure like this. This is called trapezion. First of all, origin. As you all know, the origin of the trapezius muscle is from external occipital protuberance and superior knuckle line. So it arises from the medial third of the superior knuckle line as well as from the external occipital protuberance. The next structures or areas from where it originates, they are ligamentum nuchae, spine of C7 and spine of all the thoracic vertebra. So here you can see from the picture, it originates from here to here. So very long muscle. This is the line of origin of the trapezius. The insertion, it has three types of the fiber: upper fiber, middle fiber and lower fiber. You can see here, this is the upper fibers running like this, downward and laterally. Then these are the middle fibers running horizontally towards the lateral side, and these are the lower fibers running upward and laterally. So it has three types of the fibers. The upper fibers runs downwards to be inserted over the clavicle, lateral 1/3 of the clavicle. The middle fibers runs horizontally to be inserted over the acromion process and spine of scapula, while the lower fibers ascends upward like this and they ultimately inserted over the tubercle of the spine of the scapula near its root. Okay, The actions of the trapezius, first of all the upper fibers, elevation and upward rotation of the shoulder, elevation and upward rotation of the shoulder. Then action of the middle fibers, they bring the adduction or retraction of the scapula like this, adduction or retraction of the scapula. And the third one, lower fibers, they depresses the shoulder and steadying the scapula, means downward movement of the shoulder. Okay, upper fibers upward movement, lower fibers downward movements, and middle fibers adduction. Nerve supply, the motor nerve supply is by spinal accessory nerve, and the sensory nerve supply is by the anterior branch of C3 and C4. So that is all about the trapezius muscle, important for the one-liners as well as the viva. Now the important 5-mark short note, that is suboccipital triangle. This is a triangular muscular space situated deep in the suboccipital region of the neck, one on each side of the midline, and it is bounded by 4 suboccipital muscles. बैक ऑफ द नेक पे मिड लाइन के दोनों तरफ एक एक ट्राइंगल है. ओके, दैट इज सब ऑक्सिपिटल ट्राइंगल. द बाउंड्रीज हियर you can see from the picture, this is the midline of the neck, और ये जो triangle बन रहा है left side पे, this is this left side suboccipital triangle. So boundary supromedially, you can see 2 muscles, 1 and 2. They are rectus capitis posterior minor and major. Suprolaterally, here you can see this is superior oblique, and inferiorly it is inferior oblique. So by this way the boundaries are formed. The roof of this triangle, it is formed medially by dense fibrous tissue covered by the semispinalis capitis. Here you can see this is the semispinalis capitis, and laterally it is formed by longissimus capitis and sometimes splenius capitis. If you remember these 3 muscles, sternocleidomastoid, longissimus capitis and splenius capitis, they are attached over the mastoid process. All are inserted over the mastoid process. So out of which longissimus capitis mainly and sometimes association with splenius capitis, it forms the roof of the suboccipital triangle. Floor, posterior arch of atlas and posterior atlanto-occipital membrane. Here you can see from the picture this yellow colored part, this is the arch of the first cervical vertebra, and the green color part you can see over here, it is the posterior atlanto-occipital membrane. If you remember the attachments of the norma basalis around the foramen magnum, this posterior atlanto-occipital membrane was attached over there. So that is all about the floor and the roof. Now the contents, total there are 4 contents. The content of suboccipital triangle, the first number is suboccipital plexus of veins, greater occipital nerve, suboccipital nerve, also known as dorsal ramus of first cervical nerve, and the third part of the vertebral artery. So 1 plexus of vein, 1 artery and 2 nerves are there in the content. It can be asked as a one-liner. The boundaries of the suboccipital triangle and contents of the enumeration of the contents of the suboccipital triangle, both can be asked as a one-liner. The first one, suboccipital plexus of veins. So it lies in and around the triangle, and they formed by the connection of different muscular veins, occipital veins, internal vertebral venous plexus, condylar emissary vein, and finally these all drain into the deep cervical vein and vertebral plexus of veins. So all these vein forms the plexus around the triangle, and they are known as the suboccipital plexus of veins. Greater occipital nerve, it is the thickest cutaneous nerve of the body. Remember this for the viva. It is the thickest cutaneous nerve of the whole body. It is the large medial branch of the dorsal ramus of second cervical nerve. It winds around the middle of the lower border of the inferior oblique and runs upward and medially. Here you can see from the picture. Here this is the inferior oblique. So उसके नीचे से ऐसे turn होके it goes like this medially and upward, and ultimately it goes like this over the semispinalis capitis and back of the skull. So it winds around the middle of the lower border of the inferior oblique muscle and runs upward and medially. It crosses the triangle and pierces the semispinalis capitis, trapezius muscles, and ultimately it reaches the vertex of the skull. It supplies the semispinalis capitis muscle and scalp. The third one is dorsal ramus of first cervical nerve. जो आगे वाली थी greater occipital nerve, it is the dorsal ramus of second cervical nerve, and this is the dorsal ramus of first cervical nerve. It emerges between the posterior arch of atlas and vertebral artery. You can see from the picture here, this red color is vertebral artery and this is the arch of atlas. दोनों के बीच में you can see over here, this one. This is the dorsal ramus of first cervical nerve. It supplies all four suboccipital muscles. मतलब जो बाउंड्री बनाते हैं वो चारों मसल्स को सप्लाई करती है, and also it supplies the semispinalis capitis. Now to the inferior oblique gives one communicating branch to the greater occipital nerve. The fourth content is third part of vertebral artery. Here you can see the red color part. This one is the third part of the vertebral artery. It appears in the suboccipital triangle through foramen transverse of the atlas vertebra. After emerging from the foramen, artery winds backward and medially, grooves the atlas, leaves the triangle, passing deep to the lateral edge of the posterior atlanto-occipital membrane. It is separated from the posterior arch of the atlas by first cervical nerve and its dorsal and ventral rami. So total 4 contents are there: 2 nerves, 1 artery and 1 venous plexus. We'll show you all the suboccipital muscles with their origin, insertion, nerve supply and action. Now the clinical correlations of suboccipital triangle. The connection between suboccipital venous plexus and internal vertebral venous plexus serves as a path of intracranial infections in carbuncle of the neck. मीन्स नेक का कोई भी यहाँ पे पीछे बैक में कोई स्किन और सबक्यूटेनियस टिश्यू का इन्फेक्शन है तो ये दोनों प्लेक्सस के बीच का कनेक्शन की वजह से इट कैन ट्रैवल अप टू द ब्रेन. द नेक्स्ट वन, सिस्टर्न पंक्चर इज डन टू टेक आउट द CSF सैंपल, मीन्स सेरेब्रोस्पाइनल फ्लूइड, जो पंक्चर करके लेते हैं चेक करने के लिए, थेरापेटिक और डायग्नोस्टिक पर्पजेस के लिए. मेनिंजाइटिस में खास करके उसका यूज़ होता है डायग्नोसिस करने के लिए. सो इट विल बी टेकन फ्रॉम द एरिया बिटवीन सब ऑक्सीपिटल ट्राइंगल ऑफ ईच साइड. दोनों सब ऑक्सीपिटल ट्राइंगल के बीच में से पंक्चर करके CSF का सैंपल लेते हैं. द थर्ड वन इज नेक रिजिडिटी. In case of meningitis, the irritation of the nerve roots of the cervical spinal nerves causes the spasm of suboccipital muscle. So if you remember, दो nerves है C1 और C2, dorsal ramus of C1 and C2, cervical nerves. Mainly they supply or fall suboccipital muscles. So अगर meningitis है, infections of the meninges, तो वो nerves भी irritate होगी और वो irritate होगी तो फिर it will cause the spasm of all these suboccipital muscles, and which ultimately leads to a condition which is called neck rigidity. Neck एकदम rigid हो जाएगा. You can't move it from side to side or even you flex or extend the neck easily. Any attempt for the passive flexion, ठीक से flex नहीं होगा और आप force करके flexion करने का try करोगे, या तो फिर straight leg raising test, SLR test, आप लेटे हुए हो और leg को पूरा ऐसे raise करने की कोशिश करोगे तो भी it will cause a severe pain because of the nerve irritation, nerve stretching. Okay, so that is all about the suboccipital triangle. If you like the video, hit the like button, subscribe the channel and share it to your friends. See you in the next video. Till then, goodbye. Thank you.